Hey there, tankers. Seattle Forge here with an allergy-ravaged voice. I thought I'd take a look at something I've got mixed feelings on, but this game kind of sold me a little bit towards one side of the argument, which is the Japanese heavies don't belong in the game. So I'm rolling out my Oni last night, and I get dream matchmaking for a Japanese heavy. Japanese heavies don't do well against higher tiers than themselves, pardon me, but do perform well against lower tiers. And here we have a matchup. Each team has 5 heavies, but we've got no knee. Tiger P on the other team has comparable balance to the Oni, but not really. Not really. It's got far too many weak points, and the Oni has far too few, unless you can get around it. But on a map like El Haluf, if I can get up to that corner, I can be a boss. This thing has a 200 millimeter thick turret. It has 175 millimeter thick frontal hull. And if I can keep the enemies in front of me, the vast majority of them aren't going to be able to do too much. So in this matchup, if you take a look, we've each got 2 tier 7s, and then a couple tier 6s, and then the rest are tier 5s. 11 tier 5s. So I'm making my way to this corner, and I'm hoping that I get there so that I can actually play on the corner instead of playing back from the corner and then having to worry about my side. And I noticed that the Tiger P is making his way over there. And that actually could present me some trouble. Frontally, it has some pretty tough armor, and this gun is not the most accurate, so taking shots at his cupola might not be easy. If I get really close, I can shoot down at his roof and get overmatches, but you know, that's asking a lot. I don't know who's actually going to be here in the corner. The KV-1's getting a peek, and they haven't quite pulled up to the front. They're playing back a bit, and that allows me to swing around to broadsides and see the enemies for what they are, and I'm already, I've taken a hit, but I'm already blocking damage. KV-1 is burning away. I get one of the OI experimental. So I've got a bunch of Churchill 1s up there. The tier 5s are, you know, very brave. I pull back so that I hopefully only the KV-1 I'm only exposed to the KV-1, and I'm able to put him away for my first kill. And the Tiger P is the tank I'm kind of scared of, because he does have good frontal armor, and he does have a lot of pen in his gun compared to me. And look at that Japanese accuracy. Now, one of the problems with this tank is it's so huge, and the turret is mounted in the middle, so you actually have to push a lot of your tank out in front of a corner before you bring your gun to bear. Is one of the weaknesses. Now, I am getting smashed up a bit by artillery, and that M12 of the enemy team does worry me. And it was a 3 artillery game. Haven't seen too many of those since the new matchmaking came out. But we're doing workman-like job on these tier 5s, who just don't have much. Oh, there's a shot from the SU-122A. They're stunning me, but they're not doing a whole lot of damage. I do have a super heavy spall liner in this tank, which really does help. And the Tiger P is nowhere to be seen. Stritzfong up there, who could present problems. That he's got a nasty little gun if I give him my side. But the Tiger P, I notice where he's stunned, and I have his butt. So no worries. I'd actually loaded premium to go up against the front of the Tiger P, and because of the hour and perhaps a number of adult beverages, I forget to take it off. It isn't a huge amount of penetration gain, but sometimes it's what you need. And it certainly is overkill for the tanks that I'm going to be facing from now on. So it is actually 6-5 for the enemy team. I have 4 kills, and I'm moving into position, and I shoot the OI experimental in the face, and I'm wasting an exceedingly large amount of money that I didn't need to spend on premium rounds against tier 5 tanks. And that's the end of the T-34. Really shouldn't have been there in the first place. I give them points for bravery. All of those tier 5s were very brave, but I'm now on a top gun, largely because Tiger P was an adventurist who went in too deep and ended up being engaged on all sides, and that was good for me. Our tier 6 heavy is out of the game, the Tog. Poor fella. Alright. So I noticed that the Chaffee has made his way into our base, and I'm begging my team to defend the base. The KV-1 says sure. Alright. The Chaffee is a fox among the hens at this point. And I've got this M4 who can really, with that HE derp gun, can actually, you know, hurt me. Especially if it gets me somewhere important. But, see? 158 damage. And I'm tracked. The track armor on this is suspiciously low at 40. And I get a lucky hit on the M4 to put him away. But I'm taking my whacks from their artillery. I do believe that Spalliner is mitigating some of the stun, and then I'm able to hit my repair kit and first aid kit and get back in the action. I've got 300 hit points left, and I'm really hoping that my team is going to go back after the guys in the base. Really need them to make a strong showing in the base. Type 64, very strong tank, taking out our artillery. They have 3 artillery left over here, but I'm pretty sure I could take them out. I'm, you know, obviously as big as a skyscraper, and they'll see me coming. Oh, team takes out the M12 that was spotted. I doubt I'm the one getting the spotting. So I got the VK and the KV-1S, KV-1 Sport coming up with me here to finish out at least the artillery and maybe another cap. But I'm really worried about Type 64 being able to hold off the team. Yeah, look, he's just put away our Stug. I'm out of radio range of the KV-1. And the Type 64 is in our cap. One of our guys is not far behind on the cap, the VK. Alright, I am on 7 kills. I'm on 7 kills. Will I get my second ever? Can't believe it's only 1. I only have 1, and it's in the TOG, Radley Walters. And I am hoping for it, and here he is, and I take the shot and I whiff. I whiff. That's all she wrote. My team takes them out. No Radley Walters for me. Alright, well, we get the win in what was a real overmatch of a game. And those tier 5s were helpless. Now, could they have pushed and flanked around me? Yeah. You know, but they'd have to take a beating from some of the other tanks. But simply engaging me frontally was never going to work. Never. And that's why I think there needs to be some redress in the area of Japanese heavies. Something mitigating needs to happen, and I'm not quite sure what the answer is. They almost don't belong in the game. Anyway, that's all she wrote.